Centering in with your eyes closed or your gaze just softly looking in front of you. I invite you to let the vibration of that music, the voices, the instruments, the sound of your own breath lead you gently into your own breath. Simply noticing the rhythm of your breath in and out. Breath in, breath out, and in just a few breaths, our individual rhythms connect with each other. Bringing us into a remembrance, an experience of our interconnectedness, of our dwelling in love. In this moment, in this place, remember who you are. In this moment, in this place, sense yourself touching back life in all of the ways that life has touched you. Those moments that feel tender and gentle. The moments when life has felt upended. And know that the givingness that created the universe created and holds you. The moonlight that love created shines in you, as you. When I lose my way, there is the voice of love, whispering, pulling me back, reminding me through your voice, through the voice of the quiet, whispering voice of God within. There is only love. Love wraps our fear in compassion. Love softens our hearts and opens our hands. Love leads our footsteps. There is only love. love that heals, love that invites us to let our worries, those moments that feel like failure, love invites us to let them fall away, to let those openings make more room for love. You are created in the image of love. You are held in love. You walk this path as love. And so letting your breath fill you, releasing fully, coming back fully into awareness of the love in this moment, the love in this place, the love that cannot leave you, for it is you. And as you're ready, begin to open your eyes and look around you at these faces of love. At home, if you're flying solo, hold your own face in hands of love and know that we hold you too. So one of the interesting things about Unity and Advent is we are slightly out of sync with the rest of the Christian world who celebrates Advent, because today in every other tradition it is Laudate Sunday, Joy Sunday. We're going to celebrate joy next week. So we're looking through rose-colored glasses today to see how we are called to be people of love. So what does it mean to be people of love? Because every week we say that vision, that we envision a world transformed by the spiritual awakening of all, and many, many times I say, because I need to hear it many, many times, that spiritual awakening starts as an inside job. It is my awakening, and it comes about when I choose love in all actions. And then that reverberates out to transform my world, the circles that are close to me, and all of those people whose lives are intertwined with mine, even casually in a marketplace saying, "Oh, those glasses look great on you." You know, we have this beautiful banner over here about who we say we are, our core values, and it starts with, it's all about love. Again, what does that mean? How do we put flesh on that word? Literally, how do we embody what it means to be people of love? Here are a few little messages from Jesus in the first letter of John. Let us love not in word or speech. Well, it's not really necessarily what we say, but in truth and action. We do love. And we are love. From John 1 John again, a little bit later in the next chapter. Beloved, let us love one another, for love comes from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. So, in in a week and a half, we're going to celebrate again that incarnation of love in the person of Jesus. The reminder to us that we are also incarnations of love, of divine love, created by God in God's image. From 1 Corinthians, do everything in love. And from Mark, which I talked about this passage on the Sunday before our election. What does love ask of us? You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind and with all your strength. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. There is no other commandment greater than these. Love God. Love each other with everything that is in us. What does that look like? There's that beautiful line from a Rosemary Watola Tromer poem that I've used often. Is this the path of love? Is this the path of love? In little ways. Is it in line when you're there to make a purchase and there are grumpy people behind you and grumpy people in front of you? Can you face that moment with a smile? Is this the path of love? Can I give kindness to this person who is working for minimum wage so that I can purchase one more thing for the people I love? Is this the path of love? Is it the path of love to buy new unused undies for our Sunday undies collection so that people who are in need of something so simple that we might take for granted every day, pulling open a drawer in our dresser? Is this the path of love? The love that we say we are all about, that grounds us as a community, is more than rose-colored glasses. It's more than a warm, fuzzy feeling, although we're really good at giving each other the warm, fuzzy feelings, too. I'm not opposed to that. When you walk through these doors and someone welcomes you, when you come downstairs and someone starts a conversation with you, that's a warm feeling. That is also love, but it is more that we are asked to do and to be. Love as muscular, resilient, love that absorbs every moment in our lives. Those moments that we would like to not think about, those moments that take us by surprise and not in a fun Christmas morning way. When we get a diagnosis, when someone we love gets a diagnosis. When something in our own life upends everything we thought we knew, how does love hold us then? Love God with your whole strength. This is not a fragile love. It's a strong, nimble love that adapts to every moment in our lives. Sometimes love shows up in a small and tender way. I am so beyond blessed to have 3-year-olds in my life. And I slept over at Eli's house and his parents and on Saturday morning, when I walked up from their little guest bed down in the basement family room, and there was Eli at the door of their basement, and his face lit up. "Oh, there you are, Grandma Beebe." That'll carry me. I hope that's one of the memories I have when I'm 110 and don't remember my name. I will remember what it felt like to see that little face. Sometimes love is small and tender. Sometimes love means holding someone's hand as they're letting go to their last breath. Sometimes love is picking up the pieces after a broken relationship or a wounding in the relationship that you know you don't want to be broken forever, and figuring out what comes next. How do we talk to each other so that we can hear each other without a need to be right, without a need to say, but but to soften. Not to not be heard, but to learn how to speak our truth with some clarity, some compassion, some willingness to give each other the benefit of the doubt that we're not here just to rattle each other's cages. Sometimes that's just a side thing. Do everything in love. That's our starting point. It's our foundation. It's our default set to kindness, to compassion, to generosity of spirit, to trusting each other, to trusting ourselves, to trusting that we can listen to the voice of love within, and let that slow us down. Let that soften us. So how are we doing? If love is our starting place, and we stake our claim as people of love, how are we doing? I'm going to tell you, I think overall we're doing really well. We have an abundance of love in here, in this community. And it would be really easy to settle into complacency. Yeah, we've got this together. We're friendly, we smile at each other. If I have a beef with somebody, I'm like, yeah, I just won't talk to them next week. How are we doing? Are we nimble and resilient and truthful in the way we show up as love in community? Floating around I think there are some little pink papers in honor of the pink candle today. That's your gift for today. It's an Advent gift. If you don't get one, we can print more. There's some in the back here too. So we say in our community that it's about love, that we are spirit-centered, that we listen to the voice of God within, that we show up for each other. And I don't know about you, but I hear a lot of noise in the larger world these days. A lot of noise, and sometimes I add to it. Sometimes I add to it with rage, with salty language, with frustration, and I am really trying to practice what I preach every Sunday, which is to check myself, to listen to where is that voice of love calling me? Who am I excluding from those beings that I see their divine essence? And so one of the things early on when I was still trying to decide if Unity and I were meant for each other, our agreeing and disagreeing in love was one of the things I read on our website that made me think, wow, holy wow. These people are living it. I want to be these people of love. We say that our showing up, even when we don't agree with someone we're close to in community, and then to translate that into out there in the world, those people we might think of as those people, we have a commitment in God to show up in a way that shows the world, oh, there's a different way. We might make it look easy, even though we know it is really not always easy, which is why we come together every week to strengthen each other in community. We commit to prayer. We commit to prayer so that we hear the voice of God and not just the voice of my mind going, "Duh-duh-duh-duh-duh." We welcome diverse points of view. It's great when we're in agreement on something, and if we don't agree on something, can we step back and take a little bit of that in? Doesn't mean you have to change your mind, but can we hold a disagreement or a differing point of view? Can we just hold it gently and see what there is in that for us to learn? We go to the other. That's those 4 agreements. We try not to make assumptions about what those people think or what that person did. And we just say, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? We put that in practice. And we listen. We try to understand. We try to speak with clarity and hear someone's attempts at clarity. And we hold that gently. And we also set boundaries. Loving doesn't mean we have to let people walk all over us. It means we have enough self-esteem, self-love, to set a healthy boundary so that people know they can trust us. And we're willing to let that be a negotiation of compassion, a negotiation that recognizes the gift of relationship above all else, because we hold that love prevails above all. So I invite you to take that little pink piece of paper home. I'm going to put one on my refrigerator because, yes, the holidays are coming. And I get along with pretty much everybody in my family. I'm lucky. The ones that are harder to practice this with are farther away. I get that that's an easier thing. But I am a healthy cell in the world. And so, of course, I'm going to bump up against things that make this hard for me as well. And so that God incarnate in Christ Jesus, incarnate in us, incarnate in all of creation, that moon, those stars on a cold winter's night, to look up at that gorgeous full moon and feel that light. This morning, getting up early, there it was out my kitchen window at 6 o'clock this morning, still following the path that the moon follows. So commit, if you will, with me, with each other, to be people of love. To ask, is this the path of love? Is this thing that I am doing done with love? We have been given that gift of life and love from Source, and we are called to touch it, to swim in it, to be in it, to be it. to be life unfolding, to be love unfolding. And so I'll close today as we get ready to transform the world with our love with a rough translation translated with love. When we were celebrating hope, I read a poem by Jan Richardson called Rough Translations. Rough Translations starts hope nonetheless, hope despite, hope regardless, hope still. But hear that now translated with love. Love nonetheless. Love despite. Love regardless. Love still. Love where we had ceased to love. Love amid what threatens love. Love with those who feed our love. Love beyond what we had loved. Love that draws us past our limits. Love that defies expectations. Love that questions what we have known. Love that makes a way where there is none. Love that takes us past our fear. Love that calls us into life. Love that holds us beyond death. Love that blesses those to come. May we continue to be people of love. And so it is. Amen.